Hi everyone, my name is Ellie Rowe and I'm currently a senior at Lakeland University. I'm double majoring in both studio art and psychology, and if you want to know a little bit more about me, I grew up in Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, and I went to Sheboygan Falls High School. When I'm not painting or drawing, I love to bake, cook, and hang out with my friends. Unfortunately, I can't hold a formal reception, but I am able to show you my exhibit virtually, which is kind of exciting. Before I show you my exhibit, I would love to read to you my artist statement. My style is primarily realism, but I also love to create abstract paintings using the impasto technique, which is layering paint really thickly. I've always been a perfectionist with the details involved in realism painting. So creating abstract paintings is a new journey for me that requires a different thought process. I create both portrait and landscapes with a variety of different mediums. When people look at my art, they can tell how much time and thought goes into every work of art I create, and they are surprised to see how many different styles and techniques I have learned. My thought process is constantly changing during a painting depending on what technique, mood, or style that I'm using. No matter what I choose to paint, my desire for perfection is always reflected in my work. I'm greatly influenced by my experiences in the real world and what I see around me in my everyday life. When I create portraits for people, I want them to look as realistic as possible. I try to capture their quirks, their emotions, and their feelings as best as I can so that the memory of them is forever encapsulated in my work. When it comes to landscapes, I enjoy using the impasto technique to bring out the natural beauty and texture of the area. I have a great admiration and interest in art history, so when I recreate a masterpiece from another artist, I try to do it with respect and admiration. When you look at my work, I hope that you can see the patience and dedication that I apply to every aspect of my life. Now, let's head over to my gallery and take a look at some of my paintings. The first painting that I'm going to show you is one of my absolute favorites. The title of this piece is Palace and the Centaur, and it was originally painted by Sandro Botticelli. I really love this style of classic Renaissance paintings, and that is what inspired me to recreate this painting. I studied his techniques and color palette so I could get this to be as close to the original as possible. My favorite part about this process was painting the expressions on both of these people's faces. It's almost like bringing life to a painting, that you can see their emotions. Once you recognize those expressions on their faces, it can actually evoke feelings from you, which is why I think this piece is so powerful. One of my favorite things about Lakeland was seeing the beautiful sunsets on my way back from school. I really loved painting this because there's such an explosion of colors, contrasting yellows and blues that really make the sky pop. This piece might not be too easy to see with the reflection of the light in the camera, but I'll do the best that I can to show you. This is a pastel drawing of my brother Luke, where I used a blue watercolor undertone, which really helped the colors kind of pop off the page, especially since they're so warm-toned. This is one of my favorite pastel drawings because I think it turned out super realistic looking, and it really looks just like him, so I'm proud of that. This is a master copy that I did using graphite pencil on a dark gray kind of paper. This piece was inspired by North Point Overlook in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. The scenery was breathtaking, and I knew I wanted to make a painting out of it. And I went a little abstract using the thick impasto technique to get those interesting looking clouds and a lot of the texture that you see in the grass and the water areas. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my dad, who framed all of my artwork and made them look even better. This painting was originally made by Leonardo da Vinci, and it is called Lady with an Armine. My favorite part about trying to recreate this painting was trying to get the right color palette, blend everything appropriately, and make it look similar to the original. This piece is called Lake Michigan, and it is inspired by my brother Luke. He spends a lot of time by the disc golf course in Sheboygan, and he likes to look for discs in the water, and I thought this was a really wonderful opportunity to make a painting. Not only does it serve as a memory for me, but I also can look at how beautiful the water was that day and how wonderful and colorful the sunset was. This piece is called Down by the River, and it was inspired by my backyard, where deer like to play frequently in the river. This is a pastel drawing. This piece is titled Milwaukee Zoo, and I made it in my printmaking class with ink. For this process, I chose pictures that I wanted to use. Then I carved those pictures out into tile with different tools. From that point, black ink was transferred onto the tile, and then it was pressed onto this paper. This is a master copy that was done in one of my drawing classes with pencil. Another pastel drawing that I did is of myself. I really love to use earth tones in a lot of my work, and you can see that reflected in this piece. This is another master copy that I did in class using graphite pencil. While at Lakeland, I was given the opportunity to take a trip to Greece with one of my classes, and there I was inspired to make this pastel drawing of the colorful buildings in Santorini. This is definitely one of my brighter pieces, and I was happy to step out of my comfort zone and start using bright and vibrant colors. This piece is titled Bird's Eye View, and it is made from ink, and it is also based in Santorini. For this, I used a copper plate, which I etched into, and then I used ink to transfer it to paper. This is another master copy. Here is a self-portrait that's done in oil, and it takes place in my backyard where there's a lot of forested area. This is another piece that was done with ink in my printmaking class. This one is of my cat Bailey. I use different techniques and pressure to get the light and dark contrasts. Hello and welcome back. I hope you enjoy looking at my exhibit and seeing the different paintings and drawings that I've done over the past 4 years at Lakeland. Hopefully, you'll be able to see some of my future works in person. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.